What's up, guys? You know who it is. Marcus J. Jackson coming to you with another video. This is the Live Life series, okay? Episode Live Life video. All right. This is the safe zone for you to speak, reach out, have someone listen to you. You can comment, whatever you're feeling, feel free to reach out, and it's okay. This is a completely judge-free zone. Please speak. If you are struggling with the thought of going back and forth with suicide, this is where, this is a good place to be at this moment in time. So if you have clicked on this video, it is definitely for a reason. There's definitely some divine intervention, synchronicity going on at this particular time, okay? I want you to understand that this is a very informal platform, and although it's very informal, we do take it serious. So, please treat it as such. Let's start off real quick by taking a deep breath. First of all, if you are feeling, if you're having thoughts of suicide and they're very, very strong right now, and you need some assistance immediately, please reach out to the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 800-273-8255. Again, that's 800-273-8255. All right, or 800-273-TALK. All right, that's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and they will talk to you, listen to you, whatever it takes to get you what you need. All right. Let me pull up some information on today's discussion, and all right. So if you just tuned in, my name's Marcus J. Jackson, as you can see, and this is the Live Life number 7. I took this time out between the hours of 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning. That's why I feel like I could be most effective in suicide awareness and prevention. There's not a lot of people on at this particular time. So if they are on and they tune in, if you are on and you tune in to this particular video and that title, it's obviously for a reason. So stay tuned, stay on here with me, hang in there with me, and I'm pretty sure we will, it'll definitely be worth your time. All right, let me fixing my little camera. I'm also going on YouTube as well, so feel free to comment. I started this this Live Life series because a buddy of mine, we spent some time in the Army together, decided to transition himself. He felt like suicide was the best way, and so he made that decision, and that's something that his family has to deal with, something that I have to deal with, ultimately something that we all have to deal with, especially if anybody has anybody in your immediate family or anybody that especially if they were close to you, committed suicide. And it really disturbed me. It's a really, really deep story, and I will definitely share it with you one day soon. But it's I want to give his family some I haven't actually cleared it with them to go into, great detail, but, just for the most part, he decided to transition himself. A lot of veterans have, they make the decision to transition themselves because they feel, they feel out there, they feel alone, they feel like they're a number, they feel like they're expendable. Nobody really cares if they live or die. But I'm here to tell you now that's not the case. Veteran or not, well, I care if you live or die. It doesn't matter if I don't know you or anything like that. I do care if you live or die. It's something that I feel like, you decided to incarnate into this body. So I feel like you came here for the human experience, and you should, learn as much as you can while you're here. Because ultimately, if you don't finish your task and what you came down here to do in the first place, then you're going to have to come back anyway. So I figure, why not live life to the maximum, live life to the maximum. And I also titled the video "Bullying is Real." And this is the 7th video. So it's live life number 7, bullying is real. And today, I got an article from Foxy. My wife sent me an article, she emailed it to me, and it was, and actually I can share it here. I was waiting for it to pull up. So this young lady decided to commit suicide due to, she's a nurse, and she decided to transition herself because she was being bullied at work. And I was like, oh wow. So as I read the article, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Grown folks are bullying each other, and I'm just like, I don't know. It amazes me. I've worked in the hospital. I've worked in the hospital before, and developed relationships with nurses and doctors, and some nurses and doctors you can't develop a relationship with because they're just, they're those asshole kind of people, and there's asshole kind of people everywhere you go. So I can't say that, it's just in the medical field or anything like that, but they do have a tendency to do things, that can irritate you to a great degree. But I feel like this was just like overboard. And I was like, I cannot believe that, it. Wow. And I just did a video last night about bullying. And this was, what I was talking about, children, right? So I didn't think, wow, it's just amazing. It's literally amazing how, we can treat each other and don't, I understand, poking fun at people. I get it. To a certain extent, I understand that that's just kind of how we're wired. But at the same time, to the point to where you're purposely pushing a caseload on a nurse that is going to overwhelm her. And nurses, I guess they have this thing, the media portrays the nurses of having this thing about eating their young, and basically putting out the young, dumping the caseload of stuff on the younger nurses, or, trying to treat them with this survival of the fittest kind of attitude, and I think that's garbage, man. You guys are a nurses are a very, very elite group in the medical field. And it takes a great deal of skill and capability to be a nurse. So I don't know, it's just beyond me to think that, they are in a such an elite group that they're treating each other like that. It's crazy. But anyway, hey, what's going on, Shatu? I don't know if you're still on there, but how you doing? Let me check out the chat real quick. All right. So that's going smooth. And I am going to, bear with me just a moment. I'm going to see if I can share this article. There we go. I'm going to share this article. I'm going to put it in the, copy it and put it in the links. And there we go. See. That way you can see what I'm talking about. And it is titled, hold on, get that off of there. Okay, there it is. It says nurse commits suicide due to reported bullying at work. All right, so it's real. Like that is a real article that you're about to take a look at. So when you click on it, don't be alarmed, because it's not a joke. It is the real deal. But working in the hospital, I was a health unit clerk at Parkland. So, shout out to all the parking employees, especially back in the day when I used to work there. It was chaos, literally. It was controlled chaos, but it was chaos. But nevertheless, I had fun. I really enjoyed it. But we're gonna dive into this article real quick. Let's get grounded real fast. All right. Sit up nice and tall. Okay. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Okay. Once again, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Okay, last time. Take a deep breath. Imagine your feet being grounded to the core of the earth. All right. Woo. Okay, so get the blood flowing real good. You know what I'm saying? This at 12 o'clock hour, that's the veil being lifted. All right. So come on. That's just to get your body kind of reset, get some oxygen flowing to the brain, so we can, talk about this suicide awareness and prevention thing. Okay. If you need immediate assistance and you need to talk to someone right now, 800-273-8255, all right, or 800-273-TALK. Though that is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and they are available 24/7. I've also, in the post, I've put a lot of resources in there to assist you, wherever you are in the world. There is I think this is the international line on here. Okay, I have to get the international line on there. All right. So yes, if you need to talk to me, especially between the hours of 12 a.m. and 2 a.m., you can reach me at 469-626-7486. That is 469-626-7486. You can reach me on there. I will be at 1 o'clock. I'll be on there. I'll be answering that line until 2 a.m. And if you call me, after 2, that's fine. I'll still answer the phone, and I'll still talk to you as long as I can. If you give me a call during the day, please remember I am a life coach, and I am a realtor. So I have clients, and if I'm on the phone with them, please leave me a message. And I do not answer, of course. Please leave me a message or send me a text. I will call you back. Okay. You can email me at marcusjjackson@hotmail.com. You can email me. I will email you back. So if you need one-on-one services, go to marcusandfoxy.com. marcusandfoxy.com. We provide a number of services for you to become the strongest version of yourself. All right. Okay. So let's get into this article here. So I don't know if you just in case you're unable to take a look at it, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Oh, wait a minute. I got it right there. Right there. Okay. So this is on nurse.org. That was on the website, and they posted this link about Ryan, which is a young lady in the UK. So it talks about basically it talks a little bit about the atmosphere inside of a hospital where you've got anything could go sideways, not sideways, but as far as dealing with the people, like the lab technician, the front desk clerk or receptionist, the doctor, other nurses. Those are the people that make it kind of difficult. They kind of go out of their way to do things crazy for you. So that's what the beginning of the article talks about. But the meat of the article is what I want to talk about. And I'll start right here. It says, in situations where we might encounter someone unpleasant, we might shake our heads, shake it off, and go about our days. But what about when it feels inescapable? Right? What about when you're also dealing with your own possible mental illness? What about when you feel like there's no help available to you? All right. So if you feel like there is no escape, right? You feel like there's no escape whatsoever. I want you to think to yourself that there is always an alternative. Okay. There's always you ever heard the phrase, there's always two sides to a story, or maybe there's more than one way to skin a cat. All right. There's always an alternative. There's always another way for you to get what it is that you need. Especially if you're trying to be the strongest version of yourself, you learning how to create alternate ways of living, alternate ways of coping, alternate ways of dealing with things that are stressful. That's going to be key to you becoming the strongest version of yourself. That is kind of like a given. It's a part of life. It's just like 2 + 2 is 4. You have to have thick skin when you're working in the medical field, because that's just how they are. When you're saving lives, there is a little bit of cockiness to it. There's a little bit of arrogance to it, because you are an elite group in society, right? Not everybody can be a nurse. Not everybody can be a doctor. Not a lot of people. There is a nursing shortage. There is a doctor shortage here in the United States. Oh man, my allergies, not allergies per se, but I'm detoxing. So, excuse me if my nose runs and I have to step off for a second. But you know what? I got to step off anyway. So I'll be right back. I got to go get my water and my tea. So I got me some ginger tea. All right. This right here is amazing. It will definitely calm your stomach. It supports healthy digestion and all that good stuff. So I'll be right back. I got to go get my hot water. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Well, I mean, no, I'm not sorry about that. I forgot my water, so I had to go get it. Like I said, this is an informal platform. If you're just tuning in, this is Live Life number 7. All right. Welcome to Live Life number 7. Thank you for clicking on here. This is a judgment-free zone. Feel free to speak your mind. If you got something good to say or even something bad, just say it. Get it off your chest. Put on my hat. So, yeah, and that, man, it's just, it's unfortunate that they have to, you have situations like that at the workplace. You always want to have a harmonious work environment. All right. I mean, it just makes you excited about being there. I don't know. It's something about going to work and actually liking the people there and liking the environment. It just does. It works wonders for you. And I really hate that, that situation turned out the way it did for this young lady. It doesn't have to be like that, man. And I really feel like it's something that we as a collective, we as a unit of people in the human race, this is something that we can get involved in and affect immediate change, right? There's something that we always talk about, well, there's nothing we can do, this is the time. If there anything that we could have an impact on is helping people stay on this side of life, right? Because ultimately, you can't be with someone 24/7. If they really want to transition themselves, they're going to transition themselves, right? But if there's just a slight bit of doubt, right? There's just a small chance that, this person is, just on the fence and they're not really, they're not really 100% about it. They don't really know if it's something that they want to do. I wonder what happened to my, okay. Anyway, they really don't know if there's something that they want to do, and maybe something you say, maybe you speaking to that person, maybe you reaching out to that person may be exactly what they need to hear to make the decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to make it an attempt to fulfill my purpose, whatever that purpose is. You may not even know what your purpose is, but understand that you overstand that you are here for a purpose and you happened on purpose. All right. Keep that in the back of your mind. Keep that on the forefront of your mind. Keep it all over your mind. All right. So let me go on to the next. Next paragraph. Sadly, for one nurse in the UK, investigators have concluded that bullying in the workplace led her to ultimately taking her own life, according to an article in the New York Post. 30-year-old Ryan Collins, a psychiatric nurse at the Cefn Co-ed Hospital in Swansea, Wales, and a mother of 2 young children, she hung herself in her home in March of 2018 after a 5-month-long investigation into the circumstances surrounding her death. It has been concluded that Collins' death was the result of her having experienced issues at work, particularly with bullying coworkers who made her life very difficult, per the report. All right. So according to the report, in the I guess the New York Post took this report or did the investigation, a month-long, 5-month investigation. And they found out, she was being bullied at the workplace. And to you, just real quick, to the people that are out there that, if you're doing the bullying, right? Let's just say you don't know, right? Let's just play the the devil's advocate, as they say. Let's just say you don't know or you don't realize that you're bullying. All right. So I'm just going to give you a quick heads up. All right. If you knowingly, all right, if you knowingly, try to weigh the, you push extra caseload on a nurse, especially new nurses, and you know that you have the power to help out and do something as well, I probably say, and you're not doing it, I would think that you're bullying. It would be safe to say that you're bullying. All right. And please don't take that the wrong way. I mean that with the most amount of love possible. If you're purposely doing things to other nurses to make their life a little harder, giving them, like for example, one of the places I used to work, a nurse, once she got promoted to charge nurse, she became I don't know, it was like, she was just a tyrant. She got this real, I don't have to do anything anymore, or I don't have to work hard anymore like that because, I'm the charge nurse, she would always she would always let someone know that she is the charge nurse. Right. And I think if you got to let somebody know that, you're in a leadership position, you're probably not really in a leadership position. Right. You may think that you are, but a leader has to have followers. Right. So keep that in mind. And she would purposely put caseloads on new nurses to see purposely try to make them quit. Right. To see if they're going to hang in, to call it if they really want to be here, or we're trying to weed the weak people out and we want nothing but strong nurses. So they what do you call it? It's almost like they're going through some kind of hazing or initiation, because they're a new nurse. So you are going to have them prove themselves by working them to death. All right. Truth be told, yeah, some people love their job, but a lot of people are doing a job because they need the money and are trying to support their family, right? That's their livelihood. All right. And when you're dealing with people's livelihood, that's something that you don't want to play with, right? If I'm in a position where I affect somebody's livelihood, or I have the ability to do so, I don't want nobody messing with mine. So I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do to make it as easy as possible for them. Man, people, go postal. People go into workplaces now and shoot up the place. So I don't see why you would deem it necessary to do something like that at the workplace. Man, leave folks alone at work. Leave people alone at work. All right, guys. All right, just trust me on this. All right, take my advice for this and leave people alone at work. Okay, it's not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it at all. So don't make and furthermore, nurses usually work 12 hours a day, right? Not 12 hours, 12 hours a shift or whatever kind of schedule they have, maybe 3 on, 4 off, or 4 on, 3 off, or something like that. And if you really look at it, it seems like it's a cool schedule, but you're literally, those 3 or 4 days that you're off, you're literally trying to recover, right? From the, from the adrenaline dumps that you have that tax the adrenal glands, and, you have to sleep at least 24 hours. So one day, you're going to be down, after probably the day that you get off, you're going to be down for at least 24 hours, right? So if you just really take a few minutes and think about, you need those 3 days to rest. So it's really not all that great of a schedule. It's an awesome job. It's very rewarding, and I understand, but keep in mind, if you're trying to make it difficult with somebody, you can see how they can slip into a depression because of the things that you're doing. Okay, so just be mindful. Be mindful of the things that you do. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. All right, that's somewhere in the Bible. Okay, so let's move on through the article. One of the officers in the report noted that Collins was dealing with being sworn at, bullied, and thought. Sworn at, bullied, and thought that she was being given the worst shifts. Right. The troubled young woman also showed signs of possible mental health disorder that developed as a way for her to cope with the stress. With the officers describing her as obsessed with her appearance, often going to the gym 4 times a day and taking weight loss pills. Wow. That's a lot. Okay. That's a lot. Yeah. I don't know if you would have to work in the hospital to understand, right? They kind of have this, a very dry sense of humor, or a very different kind of sense of humor, because they're nurses. So things to you, things to you that are very, very serious and, could be somewhat traumatic, because they see and deal with it all the time. They're a little desensitized to it. So they're going to be a little, some of those things they may find some humor in. Things that you find, you might not find humor in, they find humor in, because it's kind of the nurse culture. Not judging it either way. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but after working in the hospital, or for those of you that ever worked in the hospital as a nurse, doctor, or whatever, tech, you know what I'm talking about. So, I can definitely see, them talking about a nurse. I've been there where other nurses will talk about, the way another nurse looks or the way she smells, or, they'll say, why did she come to work looking like this, or, smelling like that, or whatever, instead of just going to them and say, hey man, work on your appearance, or work on the way you look, and whatever. But I know for a fact, if someone is self-conscious about the way they look, it causes a great deal of stress. Automatically. Your body produces cortisol because you're worried anyway, let alone being worried about the way that you look. That's going to cause some issues, right? It's going to cause a lot of issues in the workplace, because that person is going to do a lot of things abnormal than someone who doesn't really, care about the way that they look, or they're not concerned about what people say, right? Because truth be told, not a lot of us have completely gotten over the fact that, we look a certain way. And, a lot of us believe that we're fat when we're actually not. A lot of us believe that we're skinny when we're actually not. So, body shape shaming is, a big thing that's going on now. People like to do stuff like that. So, don't let that be you. You know what I'm saying? Don't play into that, because it's not, it's not something, it's not cool. And maybe you just need to hear somebody say that it's not cool, or somebody to tell you that it's not cool for you to stop doing it. Who knows? I'm just taking a shot in the dark. Like I said, no judgment here, but I'm just telling you that ain't cool. All right. So let's carry on. Man, it's working out 4 or 5 times a day and taking weight loss pills. There's something going on there. And I guess I don't know, I feel like somebody could have reached out at that point. You can tell. Let me say this. If you work with someone 12 hours a day, that's a lot of time. 8 hours a day is a lot of time. And that's a lot of time. If you're paying attention, like that is a lot of time for you to notice some things about people. Yeah, a lot of times we can get food. People will play the role like everything is okay. Everything's hunky dory. They got the best life in the world, and everything's going fine. But you get the phone call, or you hear the next day, you come in and you find out that whatchamacallit transitioned herself last night, and she's no longer with us. She's on the other side. So I don't know, just be mindful of that, guys. Be mindful of that, and and remember that even though it appears that someone's got it all together, you never know what they're going through. So I would invite you to try to build a relationship, especially when you see someone struggling and they need help. If you see someone struggling and they need help, things are difficult for them. I understand you don't come to work, or you don't go to work to do anybody else's work for them. I'm not saying that by any means. But if they need help, and it's not because they're not trying. You can tell when somebody's putting forth the effort. You can identify the workers, and you can identify the bullshitters at work. I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb, right? So if you see somebody legitimately trying to do their job, and they're failing at it, or they don't quite get it, help them out. Any little thing that you can do, help them out. I know nursing is hectic. I know any medical field position is hectic. Any job in the medical field is hectic. It can get busy, and you cannot eat. If you're on call, you probably can't sleep. All that good stuff. So, by all means, please, if you recognize someone needs help, I'm just saying, help them. All right, please help them, because it'll go a long way, and they will remember that. All right. You helping them out just that little bit may, you never know. It could mean them staying on this side, right, as opposed to transitioning themselves. Okay. All right. So, and this is what I was talking about earlier. The nurses eat their young, and that's kind of I kind of chopped up the article when I read it the first time. But nurses eat their young. Colin's death has brought the very serious issue of nurse bullying at work to light, with others sharing their stories and talking about what to do if you feel that you are being bullied at work. All right. The issue of nurses being bullied at work is so prevalent, in fact, that some research states that as many as 85% of nurses have experienced bullying at some point in their career. Bullying in the workplace can be incredibly difficult to deal with, because the bullied individual may feel like there is truly no place to turn, or that they may be at risk of losing their job if they speak out about what they are experiencing. Stop right there, okay? Stop right there. I guess you don't really, working in the medical field, and like I said, I used to work in the hospital. Worked in a couple of hospitals in my journey, and they are, you can really get caught up into the culture of things, and you just kind of dismiss it because that's the way they do things. As you coming in as a new person, everybody there already has, they've developed a friendship, they develop a bond, and they work and play with each other, outside of work and all this kind of stuff. So if you don't necessarily fit in with the clique per se, you can feel, I can see how you could really feel some kind of way about it. I can see how you could feel like there's no place to turn. And definitely people always feel like if they say something about what's going on, they're going to get fired, right? It's just, they automatically expect to be retaliated against if they say anything about any type of wrongdoing at work. So a lot of people just go to work they keep their head down. They don't say shit to nobody, or you can run all over them, and you see that, and they never say anything about it. They never go tell the supervisor, or they never use the the proper chain of command or whatever hierarchy that you're supposed to use. That's something that I feel like should be stressed even more. I don't know. I don't know if maybe an intervention task force or team can. I know they have like health services at the. They have places at the workplace and numbers you can call to do all that. But maybe an inside, an inside employee assistance program that's within the hospital, and a person that goes and just checks with every nurse or checks with every employee, saying, hey, how's everything? Anything you need, whatever. And I know they do that through the supervisor hierarchy, but what if it's your supervisor that's fucking with you? You know what I'm saying? You can't really, I don't know who wants to tell on their supervisor, and I know some of us will. I mean, I will, but a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people are like, I can't tell on my supervisor, because if I tell on her, it's I'm gonna get some backlash. I can't report her, or I can't report them. If I report the charge nurse, the supervisor's gonna find out, right? Then the supervisor's gonna tell the charge nurse that I report her. So when I come in, I'm gonna get the heavy caseload, right? I'm gonna get all the patients who are incontinent, all the patients that need all this extra medication and all this extra stuff. And, you got the other nurses sitting at the nurse's station chilling, you know what I'm saying? And you running back and forth for the whole 12 hours. It's, I see it. I know what it is. So I understand, man. I really feel some kind of way about that. But it's crazy. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. So let me go back to this article. Let me touch on it some more. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. If you want to reach out to me, please feel free. My contact number is 469-626-7486. I will be available every night between the hours of 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. You can call, talk to me. Or, if you want me to listen to you, I'll listen to you. If you want me to talk to you, I'll talk to you. I want you to know that I'm it's judgment free zone. I'm going to, if I need to stay on the phone with you until you fall asleep or until I fall asleep, I would, that's kind of the outcome I'm looking for. All right. If you end up falling asleep, I think I've accomplished my mission. All right. Because you fell asleep and you didn't have a chance to transition yourself. All right. So call me. And we can talk. If you want to chat here on the live, you're more than welcome to. If you need some motivation about things, if you need, just something to kind of get your mind going in the morning, you can go to my YouTube channel at Marcus J. Jackson on YouTube. And I have some videos on there about business, fitness, and nutrition. You can also have another YouTube channel called MF9 Parent Life. And there's a lot of funny stuff on there. There's a lot of good information on there as well. If you're having issues in relationships, Marcus and Foxy, Peace with Marcus and Foxy is the title of our third YouTube channel. Peace with Marcus and Foxy. There's some relationship coaching tips on there. And it just kind of, those are some outlets and resources that you can use, man. Just, click on a video that interests you and just listen to it. All right. Just listen to it. And I feel like you will get, that'll put some things in perspective, whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, becoming the strongest version of yourself is not an easy task. All right. And like I said, I'm happy to help. I want you to live life, live life. Number 7, bullying is real. All right. Bullying is real. All right, guys. So let me go back. And it says, and many of us go into the nursing profession. If you need the article, it's in the comments. Look in the comments, click on the article, and you can, read it for yourself. It says, and many of us go into the nursing profession being warned about nurses eating their young, which, let's face it, is just code for bullying. All right. Hazing, it's the kind of stuff that they do, man. It's that kind of bullshit. It's I don't know. Anyway, then the next part is, are you being bullied at work? Here's what to do. All right. This is the most important part. So listen up. Fortunately, the tide is turning and more young nurses are coming to realize that bullying in nursing does not have to be a norm, and that they can be part of changing the culture of nursing. The more we talk about it, the more we are able to end bullying at the workplace. If you are being bullied at work, you can follow some steps recommended by the American Nurses Association. Resource, American Nurses Association. They have a recent campaign to end bullying and violence in the workplace. All right. So in that article, click on that link that I have posted in the comments, and you can get that information. And it gives you a couple of bullets. It says, know that you are not alone. All right. Many victims of bullying tend to internalize their feelings or convince themselves that they are to blame. When, first of all, no, by no means, none of this is your fault. Okay. I'm gonna stop right there. All right. If you're being bullied or you feel like you're being bullied, it's not your fault. Okay. So please don't internalize those feelings. That's not what this is about. Okay. You're not alone, and it's not your fault. If you say something, then 9 times out of 10, 3 or 4 other people are going to come right behind you and say something. It just, trust me, it works that way. There's always a domino effect, and there's always, if you got those asshole kind of nurses that you work with, they're usually assholes to other nurses. So once you say something about it, it'll, things will get, other people will come forward. You'll give them the courage, and now they'll be like, oh, well, Marcus says something, so you know what? I'm gonna go say something too, because something needs to be done, right? So if nothing else, out of frustration, they're gonna go and say something. Let me see. Okay. They think they are to blame when in reality bullying is very common. For instance, reading a comprehensive 2012 study detailing the experience of 99 nurses, that's also in the link as well, who were bullied, can help you recognize that you are not alone. All right. Seek out resources. Check in your state is one that has laws on reporting or offers violence in the workplace programs. Speak to your nurse manager or supervisor. All right. Like I said, be careful with that. Speaking to your nurse manager or supervisor, and not that you shouldn't do that, but here's why I say be careful with it. A lot of times, you may want to go to HR and let them know that you are going to attempt to talk to your supervisor and or your charge nurse or nurse manager, whatever you have. Let them know that you have a problem first, and then go and tell the manager, HR, and so on and so forth. I mean, you may not want to go in great detail, but you might just want to let them know, hey, I'm having some problems. Is there's something somebody I can reach out to besides my immediate chain of command. All right. And they'll tell you 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, no, you need to go reach out to your manager. You need to let your manager know that you have a problem because you can probably work it out. They may say that, and yeah, that may be possible. I'm not saying that that's not possible. It is, you may be able to work it out. Sometimes if you just bring it to their attention, they may stop, or if they know that you're going over their head, they may stop. But I feel like that's the best course of action to take, because there is documented information prior to. That documentation that paperwork is serious. If you want to make sure, people get some act right at work, get that paperwork going. I'm telling you, you get that paperwork going, there's no way it ain't happening. You got your paperwork straight, a paper trail, if you will. You get a paper trail going. Email HR and just say, hey, I have a situation. If I, just for documentation purposes, I want to reach out to you and let you know I do have a situation and I feel like it needs to be reported, but I don't want to be retaliated against, right? Bam, there you go. And go to HR and say, hey, did you get my email? And they say, what email? Blah, blah, blah. Tell them your situation. Don't, like I said, don't tell them the glorious details just yet, and then go to your nurse manager or your supervisor and explain the situation to them. That way you kind of cover both ways. All right. So, what else? Let's go to any damn way. That makes me mad. It says go back to speaking to your charge nurse or manager. If you can arrange for a closed and confidential meeting with your nurse manager to talk over the situation, there may be workplace solutions that could help, such as rearranging your schedule or ensuring that there are other co-workers working alongside of you to be more supportive. Talk with your co-workers. There may be other nurses who are feeling the same way that you are. All right, remember what I said earlier, right? You're not the only one. Arrange a meeting with HR. Okay, right? I'm right about this, right? I mean, as far as right and wrong can go, but I'm pretty much on point with this. Okay, according to this article, at least. Arrange a meeting with HR. Going to a higher up on the list to discuss workplace bullying may be necessary, especially if your bully is a nurse manager or other supervisor. Okay. In some situations, it may be helpful to arrange a sit down to discuss any issues that exist. All right. Talk to your union rep. If they got a union, use it. Talk to them. Your union rep may have suggestions or other resources in your area to help you, or lending your voice to speak out against bullying in the workplace may start a push against it happening to others. It's on here. It says text 741-741 to have a conversation with a trained crisis counselor, or call 911 immediately if you're having thoughts of hurting yourself or others. Yes, call 911 if you're having thoughts of hurting yourself and others. All right. We'll definitely add that into my my spiel as well. And if you just tuned in, or you're listening to this recording and you're having thoughts of hurting yourself, right, or hurting someone else, please call 911 and get you some help. You can text 741-741, and they have trained crisis counselors on there, and you can reach out and talk to them. So bullying has no place in the nursing profession. So let's all do our part to help end it today. All right. So man, I just wanted to, wow, and this was dated yesterday. Actually August 17th, or that's the 19th now, but technically, yesterday was the 18th. But August 17th, this article came out, and she transitioned herself back in March. But wow. Oh boy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Louise Dale, but she has this book called Heal Your Body. Right there. Get a good look at that. You can find this probably at half price books for, I mean, very low, on the low, right? And she has suicide in her as one of the issues. So if your issues are, if you have suicidal tendencies, it means that you see life only in black and white, and refusal to see it another way out. And if you to remedy this, you want to say, I live in the totality of possibilities. There is always another way. I am safe. All right. See, I kind of said that a little bit when I started. So me and Louise Dale, hey, we kind of see things, the same way. Definitely, man. You definitely want to understand that, there's endless amounts of possibilities for you, right? I mean, if nothing else, I mean, you can, you stay here on this side of life and, make it a challenge to yourself to figure out what it is that you are, why are you here? What your purpose is? And I know people, some people tend to think that, it's not, your purpose isn't all that important or what have you. And, they're concerned. They try to kind of steer you away from your purpose because, they say don't get caught up in your purpose. Or I've heard that before. Don't get caught up in what your purpose is. And I get that. But at the same time, that is your purpose for being here, is to find your purpose. Find, what it is that you have to learn in this life. So, if you have to come through again, what to expect. Once you reach the age of consciousness, you are, you start to do what it is that you came here to do. All right. So all this, let me just say this. All right. When it comes to life, right, and death, death is a part of life. Okay. It's not annihilation. It is simply separation. You're simply separating from the body. So don't feel like, remember that. Remember, it's not, you're not going to, if I don't know, it's kind of difficult to put, but if you're not going to go to hell, if you decide that, if you think that living unrighteously is going to send you to hell, or and you think that heaven is going to pass you by because you've lived a life of wrongdoing, all this time, or what have you. If you're just that type of person and you're judging every single thing that you do, and you think that you're going to go to hell for it, it's really not it, because in the original science of it, the fundamental science of it is that you can't really, if you create a hell for yourself, then yeah, you're going to go to hell. And when you understand that the hell is simply the place of no knowledge, right? Or the place of no consciousness, or a place of being totally unaware. That's what hell is. Okay. That's essentially what hell is. So hell is not this place where, the Bible talks about it's great. It's gnashing of teeth, and, people are burning and yelling and screaming and, wishing that they had water and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? But if that's what you create in your mind, like if that's what you want to believe, then that's what's going to happen, right? That's what you're going to experience in life. I would invite you to look at a movie called What Dreams May Come. And it's Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robin Williams is in there. And it talks about, life after death and how you create your own heaven and you create your hell, by holding on to things in this life, right? So if you don't learn the lesson of letting go, letting go of things, and don't hold on to things. Don't take it so serious. Don't take life so seriously. You're not going to carry all of your problems and all of your worries on with you when you transition. So right now, take a proactive approach and start creating your heaven. Create the way you want things to be when you transition into the next part of life. All right. Create that. And in the meantime, while you're creating that, you're becoming the strongest version of yourself because you're taking a proactive approach on your life. And step one is to start somewhere. All right. You have to start. You got to start somewhere. All right. So doing even the slightest thing that you do different, okay, is going to help. Okay. If you get up a little earlier so you can, read a book, or get up a little earlier so you can work out, do things that, that will help you out, and, that things that are positive for you. So, and one thing that I want to mention to you, I always kind of want to leave some things, some tips on helping people cope with things and how to deal with things. One of the disciplines that I've become a master at is Reiki. And Reiki healing is you become a conduit of energy, right? And the energy, the negative energy that may be bogging you down or suppressing you, can be released through Reiki. And it's almost what I like to call the Jesus energy, or the Jesus hands, because the Bible talks about Jesus laying hands on someone and healing them. Well, it wasn't, this miraculous thing, that the writers of the Bible make it seem like it was. It was just really them, doing Reiki. That's what it was. They were laying hands on them, and doing energy healing. They were balancing chakras. They were attuning chakras. They were helping pulling, the negativity out of the person and replacing it with their energy. So, whatever it is that you need to work on, then I will replace that. And at the same time, help you align the chakras of your body. And chakras are just energy ports throughout the body. So, but that's for another video. But Reiki is something that it's very relaxing. It's very stress relieving. Okay. And it works. It's something that, I would definitely do some research, do your due diligence of researching. And it's called Reiki, Reiki. And I'm a Reiki master. My wife, Foxy, is a Reiki master. And she did some Reiki this weekend. And it is an amazing, anything that you got going on, literally anything that you got going on, especially getting rid of negative energy. It is well worth everything that you will ever pay for it. Having a Reiki session with, with us, especially. I can't speak for any other Reiki master, but it is a very, very effective, and it really, really does the job by just helping you with your overall energy and helping you build up your positive energy, getting rid of your negative energy and replacing it with positive energy. Okay. So, that's all I got, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, tonight to Live Life. All right. And, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad y'all made it through another video. Please feel free to continue to send questions. And if you want to talk, I will talk to you. My contact number is 469-626-7486. If you need assistance right away, please call 800-273-8255, right? And you just feel like you need to talk to somebody, and you don't feel comfortable talking to me, that's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 800-273-TALK. Call them. They'll listen to you, and you can get your, whatever it is you need from them. What else? If you have, if you feel like you are in danger of hurting yourself or hurting someone else, please call 911. All right. And they will, get you the assistance that you need as well. That's it. I have, I've enjoyed this. All right. So tomorrow, I will be talking to, I'll be talking on a little bit in depth about talking about belief systems and why someone made this, why they choose suicide. I'll go into that a little bit, and I'll share a little bit of the story with me and my buddy. I'm sorry, not me, but my buddy situation. So listen, y'all take it easy, and y'all try not to do too much. By all means, live life. All right, live life to the fullest. All right. Remember, bullying is real. Bullying is real, people, and it does not just happen at school. All right, it doesn't happen at school. We just read an article where a nurse committed suicide because other nurses at work were, bullying her or initiating her, whatever you want to call it. Another one fell victim to being, eaten by other nurses, as they say. So, but that's it. That's my time, guys. Remember, y'all take it easy and try not to do too much. Live life and peace.